you're probably going to choose the one that's got his PhD and stuff, because you're going to think that, but you know that all them subjects would have been covered. So that's why I'm going to do that as well. So that when it comes to the stage when I get to like the dyslexia, I'd like to go into schools, because I don't think schools are equipped for kids that are dyslexic. I mean, I watch some programs and I'm thinking, what is this sad music over it? They're not. You're not dying when you have when you're dyslexic. You just have a learning difficulty. It's going to affect some more than ever. But I mean, when you're young, of course, that's going to be involved with your self-esteem. You're growing up. You've got hormones. You've got everything. You don't want to be different or seen as different, and that's what I want to just cut away all that thing. You're not different because you're dyslexic. You should be able to say, I'm dyslexic. Okay, then, and carry on. So it's only because you just want to make people aware you're dyslexic, because when you write stuff, you do tend to you can make allowances on your grammar, Now people say like, oh yeah, but you want to be treated like everybody else. No, I'm not asking you to treat me differently, but on paper, when you're writing something, it can have an effect, because you tend to explain how you speak. Like when I speak to you, if I was to write that down, I probably would have done like a whole novel by now, because I'm just saying, no, but this is what I mean, and then so you try to get it out. So that's what I mean. I'd love to go to schools and talk to them, and just ask them, like, what do you think being dyslexic is? And then like use it to your advantage. If you're just, people that tend to be dyslexic, you are usually quite very good at speaking. Like you can see, I'm speaking for Britain, of course, because that's how you get to express yourself. Because you know that if you used to write down an essay, you could do it, but it would take you longer, and plus you do have your attention span does quite, just like after 10 minutes you're like, that's what happens usually. When I got my school report, when I went back and I thought about when I was at school, and there wasn't no testing. No, if you either couldn't do the work or you could. So when it came to my reports, it had all the same things. Like, she's a daydreamer. She's very good, like all my predicted things, A's. And then when it came to it, no, I didn't get the same one. And it's not that I didn't study. So it's not like a case of I'm not studying, that's why I can't get the results. I'm studying, but I didn't have that equipment to train my mind to then get the most out of it, to retain and be able to write. Because it's dyslexic, you have to put work into it. You can't just say, oh, I'm not giving the break, I'm not doing this. You have to put extra stuff in. It's not going to work otherwise. You have to put that extra effort in if you want to get that grade, like for anybody. But being dyslexic, you have to plan, you have to stick to a timetable, you have to do these things in order for you, and you have to do it on repeat. You have to repeat that action, repeat it to your mind. It's second nature to your mind. So I'd like to hear from people who are not dyslexic, who are dyslexic. Has it kind of held you back from going for certain things, for jobs, for promotion, from studying something specific, because you just feel you're not equipped to do it? Have you found that when you found out you was dyslexic, you think, had I been told this at school, by now you'd be so your mind would have been trained for so long that you would have picked up on something. So your brain, you'll be second next to your brain to say, okay, then I've got this, boom. And that's all it took. And you think, but it took me 10 years just to get this in my mind, to say, okay, that's all it took. And like, is it been expensive? People that have their kids have their How much does it cost? Is there free services that you can go and say, I think my child's dyslexic? Are people too ready to be dyslexic? Because not everybody, I mean, I'm smart, I have got a degree, but you know, I know there's certain things that are beyond me, like immunology. I mean, when I studied that, not because I'm dyslexic, just because my intelligence level is high. But did I have the commitment to put into it? No, I didn't. I mean, they say that everybody is capable of doing something, but we're not all. You can't be great at every single thing, or can you? Depends. Depends what kind of parents you have. Depends what your social situation is. We know that studying is expensive, so you know, there's all those sort of things. So that would be interesting. So how have you found training yourself? Was the advice you was given adequate? Would you benefit from someone like myself, of course, coming in and speaking to kids about, you know, what do they think it's like to be dyslexic? What is your perception of being dyslexic? You know, and just having that general thing, you know, so we can just sort of like, no, you can't tease me about being dyslexic. You can't look down on me about being dyslexic. You can't think I'm stupid because I'm dyslexic. We want to get rid of all of that. You can't stigmatise me and think that you know what it's like to be dyslexic when you're not. So we want to get rid of all of that sort of shaming, as they call it, stigma. We want to get rid of all of that. So, and if there's like anything that can be done to make it easier to get, you know, tested, even to like get the stuff you need just to say, okay, then, well, I'm dyslexic now. What's going to happen? Because I watch programs and I'm thinking, why they've made it so depressing? They're making it as if, oh, you're dyslexic, and now I've got no future. No, that's not what the message you should be giving. It's like, I'm dyslexic. What am I going to do to deal with it? That's what I want to see. And I want to see these programs different. Like, you know, I'm going to have a program. Yes, there is a problem. There's problems with everything in life. There's problems if you're poor. There's problems if you're rich. There's problems if you're, you know, if you're disabled, if you're not disabled. There's all problems in the what. But it's like, what do you do about it? Which is why I'm going to start vlogging. So if there's a problem, we deal with it. I've found many problems throughout my many years on this earth, doing interviews, jobs, you know, even just trying to source, you know, organisations, write to them, and everything. We know everything is a business. So when you say to them, I've got this idea, blah, 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 no response, you're thinking, I'm writing to an organisation which is supposed to be there to help people who are dyslexic or who have lupus. But yet, when I have an idea, you don't want to listen, or you want to listen, but you don't want to take it on because you've got someone in your department already is in charge of that. That doesn't make sense to me. If I've got a idea for a charity event, why, and it's a good idea, why not take on my idea or consult with me? You know, why not consult with me? No, we have someone for that, so we can't consider that because we've got someone that's working in our department already for that. Yeah, but the person that you got working for you in that department didn't come up with the idea. So why not go with the person that's come up with the idea? It doesn't make sense. And I found that with lupus as well, that, and dyslexic people, that unless, yeah, they just don't have, I just don't see them representing every other organisation. You've got autism, you've got people that are autistic and they go out and they do the business coach and they do this. You've got people that have abused drugs and they go out and they, based on the fact that they abuse drugs, so they're talking from the experience and so forth, and they get taken on by these agencies. Lupus, I don't see that happening. So will I be the first? Hopefully, with all you lot's help out there, I might be the first person who actually has lupus that gets to talk about lupus and making it an awareness, because I've worked in all those jobs. It wasn't, I didn't work in one industry, retail, services, everything, done it all. Health services, worked there too. So, and being dyslexic, it's always people that have, you know, you just see people that they're business people and they're dyslexic, but then you don't have them taking on anybody that's just take them on. I mean, I'm not saying that you take me on because, you know, I just being dyslexic and whatever, but I'm educated. I'm going to go and get my dyslexia expert certificate. That's standard. And I'm going to study psychology. But I'm just so, you know, just like so socially aware. You look around, you see what's going on in life. You see people. I speak to everybody, mind you. I speak to strangers on trains. So I'm just interested in everybody's story. And how things, you just observe, you just like, you've got so much to say. It's like, let me say it. I might as well say it. Yeah, put it out there. So, and if I can go into business and just, even if it just helps 2 people get a bit further, whether it's lupus or dyslexia, or maybe you have both like me, or maybe you just, you know, you've got SLE and you're dyslexic. So, you know, just to, even if it just gets that person out of that box to do what they're going to do, or don't be afraid to go and do what you want to do with your life, because I know it can, you feel like it can hold you back. We all have that kind of thing, you know, where you just think people are going to judge me. Like when I first went to uni, I've never said I'm dyslexic, because you just think, the lecturer's thinking, I don't give a crap that you're dyslexic. I mean, why are you telling me? But you're just thinking, no, I'm just telling you because, you know, so that I can get, if there's a piece, if there's coursework to be done, it's not that I'm cheating. I just give it to me before, so that when I see it, I can go over it, and then when I come in, then I can then get the work done. I mean, there's a difference between you not doing the work or anything like that. So it'll be interesting. And I mean, I want people from all levels. You don't have to have gone to university. You don't have to even, did you drop out of school because you was dyslexic? You know, what help was you given? Did you then do something else because you was dyslexic? Was you academic, but you just felt, oh, being dyslexic where I am? And it's going to be a difference between, I don't know, maybe people in London might have a more of an advantage than someone in the Midlands to someone up north. Same as lupus, the service is going to be different. So it'd be interesting to know what people's experiences is in different parts of the country also. So we can stand together and, you know, get the message out there. You can't mess with us just because I've either got lupus or I'm dyslexic. Like, yeah, so it'd be nice. And I'd like to just do like eventually do like a focus group to say, like, so what was your experiences? If you think I've missed some points out, of course it's my first vlog, so if there's anything you want me to discuss, if there's anything to do with medication, if there's any new research that's come up that would be benefit anybody, yeah. If there's any sort of specific questions, so like if once I start getting rolling, I will go back and challenge them, all these programs and so forth, like, you know, why wouldn't you talk about lupus and stuff like that, and so we can make it like second nature, the same way people are willing to say, okay, so there's